Hello and welcome to Talk Drama to Me. It's your hosts, Tiffany and G. G, all the way in Portugal. What's up, girl? What are you doing?
Hello, hello. Nothing. Dude, I don't even have a what do I love or not love. My life's just been crazy.
How's Portuguese classes going? I know you've been doing that.
Hola. To Dubai. Taking Portuguese classes with two friends. One of them is from Texas, the great state of Texas. And so her Portuguese accent, try as she might, God bless her heart, always has a little twang to it.
Well, that's so cute.
It's kind of adorable and yet really shocking to the ear at the same time, just because you're not expecting a Texas twang, Portuguese Texas twang, right?
That's got to be fun.
But my Portuguese, I think, is going pretty well. Okay, here's immigrant powers. Are you ready? I think because when I came to the US, I did not speak any English. My ability to understand context in Portuguese is a lot higher than my husband, who has actually taken a lot more formal Portuguese classes than I have. But I think that's just like immigrant superpowers. Like you're just using all parts of the brain to be like, what are they saying? And so there have been
Wow.
situations, I forget, there was one situation about bread where he thought it was something completely different. I'm like, there's no way it can be that because we're here sitting and eating. What do Portuguese love to eat? It's got to be about bread, you know? And so through the power of what is that, deductive reasoning, look at me. I'm able to order bread.
That's the most important thing to order, in my opinion. You know how I feel about bread.
Also true. Right, right. Carbs are life. And so first thing for us to uncover. How about you? How is Canada? How are the Canadians?
God, Canada's so gosh darn cold, guys. I'm really struggling out here. It's really cold. The other day it was -12 and the snow and the wind was like coming sideways. And I was like, this is how I die. And it was so funny. Our music contractor, who's also the bass player, we're like walking back from the diner and he's like, why do people live here? People aren't supposed to live here. Like, it was so funny. We're all just like struggling out here. But like, that's honestly, the cold is the least of my problems. I have the hardest time sleeping on the bus. And that's been like my challenge of just doing the edibles, trying to get a good time of when to go to bed. And then once the bus starts going, then I wake up. But edibles have been really helping. Something I did do is I got a tattoo. It's a metronome.
Oh, wow. You did get a real tattoo.
Yeah, it's an old school metronome, and the joke is because I'm always the one in sound checks. I'm always asking for more click, always, and they're like, "Oh my God, Tiffany, it's blaring in your mix," and I was like, "I don't rush though. I'm still on it because when I get nervous, I start to rush and I'll push the tempo. So I just need it basically smacking me in the head. It's a pretty fitting tour tat. It's a tradition. People get tour tats on this tour together, and this is what I got. Someone else got like the Canadian walking sign. I guess that's like a thing. Someone got an anime character. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot bigger than I wanted. I'm a bit scared. I think my mom's gonna kill me, but I'm like, maybe it'll grow on me. I won't regret it. I'm trying not to regret it because it's really cool, but it also is really big. So that's like my good news of the week.
Okay, well, we're gonna hit some milestones here for our podcast, and we'll get matching tattoos.
Eh,
I don't know. I don't have a tattoo. I am such like a goody good girl.
No, you're not.
But no, but you know what I mean. Like as a
Yeah.
Korean, I'm like the skin, absolutely not. What would our vertical tattoos be?
I think we'd have to think of the themes of vertical dramas. We'd probably have to do something around love. I hate to say heart, but for a first tattoo, something really, really small. And it's a friendship tattoo.
Can I do the Roman symbol for two? Because you know our shtick is like you want that D, you want that drama in 2 minutes or less. And I'm not gonna just get a D because then that could return dick. And that's a little too aggressive for me. But what if we did like Roman numeral two?
I would be so down for that. That's such a good idea. Dang, I should have consulted you before I got this tattoo.
but it's gonna be huge. It's gonna take up the whole forearm.
I'm like, what about a metronome? Because I use a lot of metronome in my ears. Like, oh my God.
And you got the old school ones, so no one's gonna know. You've just kind of dated yourself.
Yeah, I do feel like I feel like only musicians are gonna. Oh, geez, this chair. This setup here. Thank God we're not a video podcast, especially today, because as you pointed out, this dressing room. I think they tried to make it not look like we're in a hockey locker room. So they've covered with these pole things, with these with black curtains, just what is normally like locker. Ooh, let's do a little tour. I could show you because it'll be like heated rivalry. One sec. I have to take my ear out, but I can walk with this.
It's heated homelessness,
It
guys.
is
Yeah,
hockey
I'm
stuff.
gonna show you in the face.
I'm trying to find a Rozanov jersey or what's the other guy? What's the other guy's name?
Holland, Shane Hollander.
Holland.
So
Damn it.
you didn't end up liking heated rivalry. Why would you get a jersey?
But I was telling my bandmates if I was going to get a hockey jersey, might as well support this movement. I don't know these hockey teams, but someone else, the photographer is like, merch store loves to see me coming. She's super Irish. She's awesome. But she got like $250 worth of merch at the last hockey store. It just wasn't cute. So I'm like, I'm not buying anything here. But if they had pop culture if they have a Mighty Ducks jersey, I'm absolutely buying that. Please tell me you know what that is. Oh my God.
If we're American, why would a Canadian store have that?
Because it's hockey.
You're like, hockey transcends, okay?
Yeah.
Or a heated rivalry fan.
Let's not go that far.
Funny. Oh man. Yeah, for the listeners out there, Tiffany looks like she's in a hostage situation.
Yes, I really do.
Like an all black room. There is one single light on top of her.
I'm gonna take a picture of this.
It's like a chair in the corner. So
I'm dying.
blink
That's
twice
great.
if you're in trouble, Tiff.
It's pretty rough out here in these streets. Oh, speaking of rough out in these streets, I don't want to say the name of the place we were in last night. But it was not good. It was really just dicey. We saw a fight breaking out in the street, and then I was like, well, that's my cue. And I left. So I went back and I didn't want to walk alone because we've had quite a few people tell us, like, hey, just like be aware, keep your head on a swivel. And actually, I don't even know where we were. It wasn't Oshawa. Was it Oshawa? Were we in Oshawa last night? Anyway, it's one of those places, but there was some stuff going on in the street. And then even our friends, they kept going out and they ended up coming back because they're like, yeah, crazy. One of them went to a movie 2 nights ago and a fight broke out in the theater and like 4 cop cars had to they just swarmed up and had to break this huge brawl that just broke out during this Netflix movie of Peaky Blinders. It's rough out here. Canadians are not all nice.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, I guess we're both kind of having bleh weeks, to say the least.
Are there Canadian vertical dramas?
No, but you know what there are. There are Canadian Hallmark movies. I think Vancouver, so the other side. I don't think you're near there, but
Nice. Okay.
yeah, Vancouver is a huge place for filming. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to send out the bird signal. Listeners, if you know any, sorry, Tiffany, it's Pinoy, right? I'm saying that right?
Pinoy.
Pinoy. See, I knew I was butchering it. All right.
No.
Listeners, if you know any Pinoy verticals, please send them to us. I am digging. I am hunting. PI month is in May, and I'd love to get some of like Tiffany representation. Otherwise, we're just doing all K-dramas again. So, guys, save her from a month full of just K-dramas. Okay.
Yeah, there was one that I found and it was in Tagalog mostly. So I'm curious if I guess we are curious if there's some that are US or wherever based, but maybe the actor or actresses are Filipino or of Filipino descent, right? We could do that as well.
Be good. If you guys know any like vertical actors who are, Filipino, I'd love that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. You can't just tell by the last name sometimes, you know what
I
I
know,
mean?
because then you're like, oh, are they Latino or?
Or, yeah, it's like a big game. So
Dang.
if there are any confirmed ones, don't let us guess here. Help a sister out.
Colonization is brutal.
Yeah, we are going to combine Tiffany's half with another and to create one full Filipino.
Yes. All right. So, can you take us through this? What are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing one of my deepest, darkest secrets, my love of werewolves. As you know, we've been talking about werewolves actually just kind of adjacent cause Mac and all of that. So I thought we haven't done a werewolf in a while, but all the werewolves have started to blend in together. I can't keep them straight.
I don't even know how you remember like titles of things. Like it's
Girl,
crazy.
again, could I name all 50 states? No, but you tell me about a werewolf. I'll tell you the synopsis, right? But truly, all of them are starting to blend in. The most recent releases, I haven't found one that really caught my attention. But you know what always gets my attention is Candy Jar, and they just did a werewolf one. So we'll see if it gets us going, right? Today's vertical is Hated by My Maid. Hated by My Maid is a fiery werewolf romance filled with tension, class divide, and fated love. When a headstrong maid discovers the arrogant alpha of her pack is her fated mate, will both reject destiny to protect their pack? Wow. Again, we found this puppy. See, this pup, on Candy Jar. I always love the stuff out of Candy Jar. I think it's well shot. This one is based out of a book, so you're gonna probably just feel it be a more fuller story overall. And then I always think the actors they pick, I don't know, they're pretty good, right? Have you been disappointed by Candy Jar at all? Sorry.
Oh God. I don't even know how to answer that question because I don't remember where they come from when I
What have
watch
we
them.
done that's Candy Jar? Oh, you haven't watched some of them, sorry. I imagine you're here with me having this conversation as I watch, these verticals because I can just hear you in my brain being like, "What happened? Is this a fever dream?" The big one we've done is Loving My Brother's Best Friend.
I don't remember. Did I like that one?
No, but I think you were absolutely fascinated with how much I liked it. It was like a social experiment for you to try and understand what I loved about a high school romance
That sounds about
movie.
right.
Yeah, yeah, that's just our friendship, in a nutshell, guys, is I tell Tiffany about this crazy thing, and, she tries to figure out why I like it in the first place.
We'll never know.
Let me tell you
That's
about
the answer.
Labubu's. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I've watched a ton out of Candy Jar. I'm always really impressed by them overall. Not all of them are winners, of course, but typically they just do a great job picking the content and the artist and shooting it wonderfully with probably $10, right? So, speaking of artists, today we've got two artists that I've never seen before. Um, one, her name, oh, buckle in, is Luna. What? Luna Rivera as Aura, Aurora,
Aurora.
Aurora, it's Aurora. She's an orphan maid, fiery and secretly powerful. Tiffany, tell us a little bit about her IG. Is she a real
I thought,
star?
yeah, I thought she's so pretty. She seems to be just like a budding actress. She has more of a following than the average person that's not in the industry, but she doesn't have a huge following. She's so pretty.
Yeah, her eyes are really striking. So
Yeah.
oftentimes we talk about how these male leads, we could see how they would be werewolves. Actually, Tino Shade, Luna, I was convinced she was a werewolf.
Yeah. Oh, is she not?
Oh, spoilers. No, she in real life she's a normal human being. What I'm saying is
No. Oh, I thought you meant in the movie. I'm like, wait, but she like her eyes like sparkled and shit. What?
that's just her. But yeah, spoilers, so she is a werewolf, but I just thought her physical attributes really lent itself because she's so beautiful, she's so striking. It kind of gives a supernatural vibe.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, so she's Puerto Rican. She had an IG, not IG, an IMDb link on her page as well.
She's
Um,
Puerto Rican?
mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
that's nice. Okay.
She's been in it looks like a few movies like this, but for some reason I can't look at everything because I don't have an IMDb Pro account. So I think she's a rising star. She's so pretty. And I actually didn't mind her acting. I thought she did pretty good. From the little bit that I saw, I think she's better than the guy. And the guy, our
The
male main
guy
character,
is Christopher Lamonda. I don't know what that is. He Puerto Rican? I don't know. I love that. I love these names. Lamanda. Ooh. As Wolfgang, he's the proud pack alpha, protective, and for me, kind of Mr. Darcy coded.
I think he gives me Spanish vibes. Lamonda seems like a Spanish last name. And he looks like a Spain Spanish dude. But I could be
Okay,
wrong. He does he does in fact have his moments on the gram.
Is he reading a book? Is he a reader? Can you read?
Undaunted courage. It is undaunted courage. That's what he is, quote, reading, but also has a cell phone in his hand. So I don't know, girl. Him reading is, we don't know if he does that. He's a working actor. He has something with maybe a movie he was in premiered at SVA. So I'm curious to know if he is maybe New York based, because I know SVA is in New York. That's where my brother-in-law went to school. He's got a very basic Instagram though. Nothing too crazy. That's like kind of the only thirst trap that's on there. He has a few modeling things. Like he's got nice hair, but really nothing too crazy. 14,500 followers. Yeah. So I think they look good together.
Yeah, I thought he was cute. I don't know. I would have kicked him
I
out
think
if
so
I didn't
too.
read him.
Yeah, I think he's cute. Yeah.
I don't like him with the full beard. Some of the pictures
I don't
that he
either.
showed, he kind of had like a little fade. And I
Mm.
think that's more my vibe.
I actually don't love a beard in general.
I know, you don't like a beard at all.
Mm-mm.
Why do we watch werewolf ones? Because they're always bearded and you're gonna get the ick so quickly.
Well, that actually is not what gave me the ick, but I can't wait to tell you what did.
Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Tiffany, take us into Act 1.
Okay, so the story kicks off when Aurora, a humble maid, accidentally ruins Alpha Wolfgang's shirt. That night, Aurora turns 18 and, quote, mate pull hits her as scent, wild pine, almond, and amber, revealing that Wolfgang, the alpha who can't stand her, who's like her boss, total a-hole to her, by the way, is her fated mate. So she's like, gosh, my mate's an ass, I think were her actual words. So when this happens, their eyes get all sparkly and they make these tingly facial expressions, which that was really funny. So that just confirms the bond when their eyes glow. But despite the undeniable pull between them, he refuses to accept her. Stereotypically in these, he already has a person that he needs to make his Luna, right? So, and it's not her. So
I have to say, Candy Jar, well done. Thank you for giving us exactly what we want, because in those opening sequences, shirt off, I said, I am set. Thank you so much for the fan service, right? And this was an interesting concept because I don't know if we have seen the mate pull like this. I didn't realize that when you
yeah,
turn 18 as a werewolf, your fated mate gets revealed to you, and then you do the sparkly eye bits. So this is where I don't know if the werewolf genre all agree on what it means to be a werewolf. Like, this is a scientific experiment. Like, there's one answer, right? Anyway, I thought it was a new concept. I didn't mind it. It's an interesting thing. Is she 18? No, I don't think so.
no, she looks like she's 27.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry if you could hear that. I have to say now, getting into what instantly gave me the ick was when I thought, okay, they like see each other or whatever. And then he does this like, no way, like a grunt from, I don't know if it's like anger or annoyance, but I died laughing. And I was like, all right, well, now I definitely don't believe that he's a werewolf.
What do you mean? The grunting is hallmark to werewolf verticals.
It's gross. I don't like it. I don't like the grunting.
What are we doing reviewing this? This is really just for me. This is what's happening because you don't like the men with the beard. All of them have a beard in werewolves. You don't like the men when they do grunting. And spoilers, that's just a werewolf thing.
I think I just need to sit in this chair. Sorry. Let me just.
Because I'm blowing you away with all of this new information.
Yeah, I do feel, oh, now I definitely look like I'm in a hostage situation. No, but I also am intrigued by them because I think that they're selling their chemistry really well. So I was curious to see how well they actually portray they can't resist each other, literally. But I guess going on from that into the story, Wolfgang just can't have a maid as a Luna because they're in different classes. In anger, she strips off her maid outfit and thinks she is getting fired. So he knocks on her door And he starts to watch her change, which, like, ugh, men will be men.
Even
uh,
werewolf men are men.
yeah, they all got that dog in them, as we like to say. So yeah, so she's changing, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And so she puts it back on. She thinks she's getting fired, but then he was like, "No, I don't trust you, so I'm not letting you out of my sight." So he also makes her promise that she won't tell anyone that they are mates, and that because she's his maid. But now they're just going to be trapped in this sexual tension. I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess that was a pretty short preview for you, but that's very classic Candy Jar. You're not going to get any super long ones out of them. Guess, but now with what you've seen, pass or play, would you go beyond?
I think I would probably, I probably, because I only got 7 episodes. So
That's such
I,
a long pause. Yeah, what are you thinking? Yeah.
because I'm thinking, did I even really get enough to, I don't know. I probably would have done maybe like 4 more episodes, and then I probably would have tapped out. I feel like that's where my threshold usually is. It's around episode 10 or episode 12 where I'm like, all right, let's just have G tell me what happens.
Have you been playing the little games?
No, usually well, for this one, I just went to episode 7, but there was one time I don't get the fun games on that. No, it's usually just runs the clock and it's like a movie or something.
Yeah, and they're a pain. I think when I'm trying to do it on an app that I haven't paid for, then I just let it run and then I go do something else and I come back. I'm like pleasantly surprised we can watch an episode. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It's not worth it, guys. Don't do that. Since I hate myself and love werewolves, I would love to take you behind this paywall. The next morning, Aurora that's the name. The next morning, Aurora adjusts to her new role and her new room. This is an impeccable room, but she touches the wall for dirt. Spoilers, there is no dirt. And here she's learning Wolfgang's meticulous routine while battling their undeniable attraction. While delivering his second coffee, they clash again, their argument escalating until they're breaths away from kissing, only for Wolfgang to pull back at the last second. While Wolfgang receives a pack briefing on rogue threats, Aurora delivers his protein shake. His beta suspects she's his mate. But before Wolfgang can react, Tallulah, I kind of love that name. Do you?
That reminds me, there was a Tallulah in that Katherine Heigl show where like they're best friends. Did you ever watch that? Firefly Lane, I think it
Firefly
was.
Lane. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was a good one, actually.
Is that done? Is that show done? It's not coming back?
I do think it's done. Someone confirmed that for us, but I don't
I'm
think
gonna
it's done.
I'm gonna look as you.
Tallulah Lane.
Yeah, it concluded the drama series with its second season, which was released in 2 parts, ending on April 27th, 2023.
There you go.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Yes, so this Tallulah, not as cool. Tallulah, the bad girl, is the snobby alpha's daughter of another wolf pack. She sashays in, flirting and reminding Wolfgang of their arranged marriage. Wolfgang coldly dismisses her, and Tallulah turns her cruelty on Aurora, insulting her as orphan twin. Tallulah, and I quote, "I own shoes worth more than you, Aurora, and you went with those? Call an ambulance." Call an ambulance. It was very good. And that's when I fell in love with Aurora. Later, Aurora confronts Wolfgang about pulling guards from the eastern border, endangering Miss Kala's sister. Miss Kala is another maid who's helping out Aurora, so Aurora is very invested in this random sister who we never see. Aurora demands she reinforce security, leading to another heated argument over pack safety and his leadership. We fast forward, Aurora spit shines Wolfgang's grandmother's face. His beta catches her because he was literally sitting right there. In the screenshot, you could see him right behind her. It's like, girl, you in danger. He then blackmails her for a back rub, revealing Wolfgang did reinstate the guards at her insistence. Suddenly, Wolfgang walks in, seething with jealousy, and snaps at her to stay away from other men. Aurora is livid and confused. He rejected her, yet acts possessive. Also, he yelled at her, but not his beta. Boo. Their tension boils over, breasts mingling, eyes locked, until a freaking again he abruptly pulls away, leaving her frustrated and aching. Tiffany, how many times are we going to almost kiss? This is almost K-drama, border K-drama level. This has been the fifth seatbelt buckling, in my opinion. How many
Oh,
times are they going to be super close? I've never been that close so many times with a man and not kissed. You have to do it. It's a primal instinct given to your wolf senses, guys.
I was gonna
That
say
evening,
I love the possessiveness. I have problems.
I know, and this is where I thought we would love werewolf things together because I too really love this I'm the alpha
Yeah.
thing, you know? And then she's like, "No, you're not. I'm a rebel." I was like, "Yeah, girl, that's right." But then they fall in love and spoilers. That that evening, they share their grief over losing their parents, and he softens, inviting her to dinner. At the table, his beta teases him about the date, and Wolfgang admits Aurora is his mate, but pack politics force him to marry Tallulah. Then, Aurora stuns in a gorgeous, great colored gown. It's body tea. I thought just the eyes alone were supernatural. The body is also supernaturally beautiful. It's out of this world. Girl, drop
His?
your no, her. He I think from the get-go, we knew he worked out and look at the abs, right? Yay. But for her, she's been stuck in this maid outfit. It isn't until we see her in this gown that I thought, wow, jealousy alert.
Wow.
Dang it, I also need to go to the gym. FY. Be right back. So she comes out in this stunning gown. Wolfgang, visibly affected, gives her a wine tasting lesson. Swallow.
You said what? Wine tasting, you don't swallow, you spit it out.
He wants a swallower.
Don't
It's
we
a
all?
different technique out there in wolf world.
Okay,
He
noted.
said that and I went, "Oh, oh, Tiffany, Tiffany, you gotta see this part. You won't believe.
He said swallow.
The wolves do wine so different."
He wants a go, go, go. All right, we've just now uh, ventured into the explicit content part of our podcast.
You can never come to Portugal and drink wine because these people will kick us out. They'd be like, Look at these savages."
For sure.
He says swallow, but then he actually skips his own steps. She gives her this elaborate wine routine, which she then follows. But then he skips it himself. He just chugs his own wine. Said, okay, I guess them's the rules. Their sexy swallowing moment is ruined when Alpha Willem and Tallulah arrive. Later, Aurora confesses to Miss Calla, her like maid friend mom, because she's an orphan, so this is her mom surrogate. She confesses to Miss Calla that Wolfgang is her mate, but she feels worthless, like she doesn't deserve him. Until Miss Calla reveals that when Aurora's mother died, a purple aura passed to her, hinting at some hidden powers. The next day, Wolfgang and Aurora share an intimate moment in the garden over his late mother's flowers, kissing passionately, until the beta interrupts with news of a rogue attack. Miss Calla is critically injured, and Aurora blames herself. Wolfgang confronts her, but endeavors to confirm his engagement to Tallulah to protect Aurora and the pack. This is where I just wish men did communicating. Do
So
you
that's
know
a
this?
big ask.
Yeah, apparently. This has nothing to do with anything except the new Dune trailer came out. Okay, are you ready? Actually, Dune just came out. I know, guys. Sorry, I'm a huge Dune fan. So the Dune trailer came out, and it reminds me that Paul Atreides in the book, the Chani, the love of his life, is actually a little different than from the book to the movie. But nevertheless, there isn't a lot of conversation around why he has to marry the princess formally and why she has to be a concubine. And that sort of reminds me here as well. If you just had more conversations, things could go well. Just use more words. Say more words, right?
I feel like I would just get annoyed by this vertical now.
At this point, you would, honestly, because instead of talking, he just looks longingly and grunts to himself, and
Ugh.
that's not a replacement for a conversation, guys. Not even in Wolf World. So you can imagine, in the morning, Tallulah waltzes in and shows off her new engagement ring to Aurora, who she treats terribly. Oh, there was a whole thing about coffee, but we don't have to do this part. Tallulah grabs Aurora roughly when Wolfgang stops her, but before Wolfgang can explain his decision to Aurora, she storms off. That evening, Aurora is kidnapped. Aurora, tied up in a warehouse, uses the rogue's leftover T-bone. Okay, here it is, guys. All right. I got to paint you a picture. So she's in the warehouse. She's tied up, right? And what that means in vertical world is she's put her arms in the back and there's a rope loosely draped. This rogue who kidnapped her is sitting off in a corner eating a steak and leaves the T-bone, actual bone, and then she uses the bone to pick her handcuffs.
What? That doesn't work.
This is where I don't think anybody in vertical land has ever been tied up or kidnapped. It reminds me of the other vertical with the warehouse where there was a magical glass shard that could free them from their ropes. Same thing here. They said, "Look, we've got a handcuff. We've got this bone." Let's make it work. You have to really suspend disbelief or suspend your belief in the vertical cinematic universe. Yes, in fact, guys, as we've learned here, if you are handcuffed, just find yourself a T-bone. Just get yourself a good steak. Let it rest. You don't want to use a cold steak on a grill. You got to let that thing rest and then grill it up. What do you like, Tiffany? I'm like a medium rare kind of gal. I could do a rare, but I'm a medium rare. What do you?
Never knew if I would enjoy a rare steak until my tour last summer when I was having steak in Europe all over. In the UK specifically, I'm sorry, this is a hot take. They don't cook very well. And they you ask for a medium rare steak. And I was at really nice restaurants because this was not on my dime. This was on my boss's dime. Really nice restaurants. So it's not even like I was at some shitty place. It was good, really good places. And they just could not. The sauce would be really good, but they just don't know how to cook steak long enough. For that I am a medium rare girl. And I always thought, could I do a little bit less than that? I sure can't. I can't. It's weird.
I wonder once you get here, I wonder if we should go on a meat adventure and just get a lot of meat sweats. You know what I
Oh, I
mean?
would love that.
Because
Ooh.
something that the Portuguese do well is just simplicity. They don't go crazy with the sauces. Good Portuguese food is just showcasing the best parts of that ingredient. So I wonder if you would like steak here better. Let's keep it on our radars.
Oh,
Guys,
absolutely.
it's just stretchy pants and meat sweats. That's what we're up for. But here, they grilled up the steak, ate it up, left the bone. She picked herself out of it. Look, we love a resourceful gal. And as she's freeing herself, Alpha Wilhelm arrives, admitting that he fabricated the rogue threat to force Wolfgang into marriage, then killed him to seize power. Aurora stabs him with the bone, and Wolfgang shows up. As Wilhelm holds a knife to her throat, Aurora's purple aura, there it is. Aurora's
That's
purple
hard.
aura erupts. She is a descendant of the moon goddess. She
Wait.
kills Wilhelm.
No, wait. How does she not know that? Because of even her maid mother, her mom, was present. Her mom couldn't tell her that she's the descendant of this moon whatever. In the beginning of the movie, her mom was a maid too, wasn't she? She was like, "You think I forget your 18th birthday?" Or was that not her mom?
No, that's the mom surrogate. You're right. How does one go from being, I guess that's how it works in wolf culture as well. Once you're an orphan, you go to the lowest totem on the pole. Yeah, I don't know either. You're right. Why wouldn't anybody? Oh,
Makes me laugh that the it makes me laugh that you watch these in full and you don't have these moments where you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Or you just oh my God, they're so hot. This story is so captivating. Where does your brain go? I was just saying it makes me laugh because I just find these plot holes immediately, and I have ADD. And so that's, I think, saying a lot that I'm finding these things. And you'll be like, yeah, that you're right. That is, but you watch these in full. So do you never have those moments to yourself? Or are you just like, oh, the story's so captivating?
Okay, well, Judge, I have a point, Your Honor. This woman just picked herself out of her handcuffs with a T-bone, or with a real big bone. What do you mean I'm not questioning things? I can't question things. The vertical gods have spoken, and they
I
said,
guess,
don't ask those
yeah.
questions.
No,
Don't.
you're right. I forget that's a part of this is you kind of have to throw out the logic. So you're right. You are absolutely correct.
And
Go
this is why
on.
we're a great pair because you would think, given I don't know, just given how I am as a person, you would think I would be more critical here. Yeah. But I'm a trash panda. I know what I know myself, right? And this is why you don't watch them in full because you have what they call taste. Must be nice. So, she is a descendant of the moon goddess. You're right. Why did no one tell her this? Why did Miss Caller withhold the fact that she had this really powerful purple aura up until now? I don't know. Here's what it looked like. It looked like she went Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Do you remember in Dragon Ball Z where like, you would just really concentrate and then this burst of energy would come out? That's what happened. She really concentrated. She's like, ee! And then pop, purple.
That's a really
And
good
then
analogy.
Thanks. This is Dragon Ball Z, but werewolves. She, from this energy burst, kills Wilhelm and then fates into Wolfgang's arms. Back home, Aurora reads the fairy tale book, only for Miss Calla to appear perfectly fine. The rogues did not harm her at all, kidnapped, but probably went on a spa vacation. Wolfgang also enters, announcing Tallulah's banishment, because Tallulah was in cahoots with her dad, doing all this bad stuff to force an arranged marriage, which Tallulah, have some, self-confidence. Like, you're a pretty girl. You don't need your dad to go and kill other werewolves and hire rogues to get this guy? This Wolfgang, this guy to marry you? He's not that much of a catch. You could do better. You're a great gal. Good head on your shoulders. But didn't do it. Instead wanted this guy, so banished. Wolfgang apologizes for being too prejudiced. Mr. Darcy, hello, ring ring. For being too prejudiced and stubborn. Admitting he thought an alliance would protect the pack. But Aurora was the one he needed. Thank God she got magical wolf superpowers so that he could look past her being a maid. In this way, it is not Pride and Prejudice because in Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth was just Elizabeth through and through, right? So, boo. They kiss passionately, and when she whispers, "Claim me," he bares his canines and bites her? Wolfgang
Where?
World is so confusing. I didn't realize that's what that meant because I thought they were gonna. You know what I mean? I heard claim me and I said, "Oh, I'm ready." And then it was a bite and I said, "Oh no, I'm not into that."
But where does he bite her?
Wouldn't you like to know? Just on the neck.
So it's like vampires now? Like what?
Yeah, it's very vampire coded, right? Again, there's a lot of rule. We need to talk to an actual Wolfgang person. Wolfgang, we
Well,
need to talk to a real book talk werewolf person to tell us the rules of the road here because there are so many concepts of werewolves. It's hard to keep track of what's real or what's canon, right?
well, yeah, and what is just like specific to verticals and what they've decided happens in like werewolf life versus like fantasy world,
Ooh, true. Yeah, I guess that's another good point where Book Talk probably has a more expansive universe and probably has different rules that
right?
may perform better in book versus like a visual medium. So that's right.
Yeah,
That's true. Maybe
yeah,
that's why they're biting because someone's into that. I don't know.
yeah.
So he bites her, sealing their bond, fading out as they kiss.
So they finally have like a solid makeout sesh.
Dude, freaking finally. They had one at the garden, but then it was quickly interrupted by the beta. And then after having all of those near miss kisses, they didn't for a long time, and then now they're fading out to kissing, which I don't know, felt very K-drama coded to have all of those I mean, how close can you be to a person and then not kiss them? It was very
Yeah,
it was very close.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
That's annoying. Now, I'm even afraid to ask you because I feel like for every werewolf, it's going to be nah to the hell no. But let me do it for posterity. Posterity, pass or play. Would you go beyond?
I don't think I would.
Where did I lose you?
I don't know. I I almost said yes. I just feel like, I don't know. I think that grunt really just threw me off.
We
Uh,
lost you at the grunt.
I think it was the grunt. I hate to say it because I was kind of like, well, I'm feeling this so far. They're both good looking.
Okay, then you have to be really honest with me. You didn't like the other werewolf we did, the guy with the butt chin?
I like this one better, I think.
Okay, yeah. Like, the
I think
production
this one
quality is a little better.
one was better production quality for sure.
Okay, then I guess my main question is, should we continue doing werewolves? Because we don't have to do werewolves. That's something I can just watch, under the covers by myself late at night and be like, "Ooh, he
Oh my
says
gosh.
hello."
No, I'd be down to try more. No, I don't hate them. It's not like that. It was just that grunt. I was like, oh my God. LOL. I
All right, I'm gonna
cackled.
try. I'm gonna try to find a werewolf vertical where there is no grunting. I can't make promises though, because that is such a hallmark of the werewolf genre. There's one guy you would hate. Oh my god, I'm gonna make a hate watch one. There's a guy named Cayman Cardiff. Have you heard this
Oh,
name?
mm-mm.
Cayman Cardiff kind of looks like a werewolf, so definitely has the look. He is an aggressive grunter. Of even in the werewolf genre, I think he's taken liberties with the script. He says, director, what's gonna make this scene a grunt, and it's a full bodied one. I don't know if that changes anything to you. No, what if it was like
A full-bodied grunt.
project-
Oh, at least he committed.
you roll the shoulders back, you open up that diaphragm, Guys, I've been playing with I've been, as you know, I've been toying with that concept of doing a did not finish series where it's just so bad I could not finish, and that's saying a lot. I've got a couple of these loaded
Oh,
in our little toolbox. Maybe
definitely save
that's
it
what
for
we should
that
do.
then.
I should find a werewolf that I could not even finish.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and we'll see. We'll see if the audience roasts us for that. Now, for the wrap up, I actually do have a title, but I've already said it. For the vibes here,
Okay.
truly, for me, it was Pride and Prejudice, but make it werewolves.
Okay. Mine, the title I thought of, I don't have my thing with me, but I believe I said, there were different ways I could say it. Feral and fated. Or was it feral fate? I can't remember what I did, but I thought it was a good one.
Oh yes, because you hate the grunting, but that's feral coded.
And I love the word feral. So
Do I love the word feral? I love the word feral in this context. Yeah,
I think it's a great word.
he's so feral.
Feral,
Love it.
fated. Yeah, I don't remember what I said, but it was something like that.
I'm gonna write that down. Faded.
Write it down.
Feral.
I'll tell my boyfriend to write a vertical drama called that.
Dude, if we were a werewolf podcast, that would be feral. It'd just say feral, period. You know what I mean? Guys, I think we have to be a werewolf podcast because I could see the glimmer in Tiffany's eyes.
Just
We are
a
getting.
tattoo of having the word feral, though.
Oh, ooh, yes, those are my grunts. So that was a werewolf, yes.
God.
Do you have the time to do Tiffany's tea time?
Tiffany's tea time. You don't watch Beverly Hills, right? Real Housewives of
No,
Beverly
I'm
Hills.
not really watching anything, so you're gonna have to.
There's this girl that's like super annoying. The internet and just Bravo verse have been loving Rachel Zoe, or is it Zoe or Zoe? Rachel's, but she's like her shit is everywhere. I'm sure you've probably bought stuff of hers, and so she's on there. She's a great personality. Jennifer Tilly has quickly become my favorite. The one who was married to the creator of The Simpsons.
She was always my favorite because in some ways, she rang true of old school Real Housewives, where all we wanted to see was rich people being rich and having rich people problems. And that's
Being
exactly what
quirky.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not doing any harm in the world. She's using her wealth to live fabulously and giving us
Yeah.
insights into her life. And how could you hate that?
She's
She's
a
just rich,
character.
guys.
Yeah. She's just set. You could tell she has a good heart. She's such a sweet person with a really nice personality. So I guess that's my tea time. Is that
Yes,
not
you know what's
good?
really funny is
Oh,
remember I specifically texted you. Do you have a tea time where we could bicker? We didn't bicker at all. I just agreed with you.
love to know your thoughts. If you could do me a favor and we could talk about this next time, I would love to know your thoughts on the new girl, Amanda. Do some digging, and I want to know your thoughts on her. She has just taken Bravo by storm in not the best way.
Okay.
Her name's Amanda, maybe Francis or something. I can't remember, but
Yeah, I
she's the
guess
new.
the real reason we can't necessarily do tea time is that I'm just not very informed in anything.
I have like personal tea, but it's too close to what I'm doing right now, so I'm gonna save that for I'll chat another time when it can't be lined up with something going on in my life. So people
I
can't
have some
connect
tea.
dots. Yeah.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, do you know?
I didn't finish it, but I saw that she was supposed to be like the Bachelorette or something.
So, okay, Tiffany's tea time with a little bit of a little spicy G moment here.
G time.
G time, let's go. So, the name Taylor Frankie Paul. Taylor Frankie Paul blows up on the internet because she does a live stream admitting that Mom Talk, this TikTok of Utah-based moms, is a swingers club. And if I remember correctly, she kind of implies that everybody is involved because she's not naming any names, she's using plural, and so everyone's like, every single one of you is a swinger? That's crazy, right? Turns out it was just 2 couples within Mom Talk, that they did swinging with, and it's weird. I think sometimes, guys, Mormonism has created what is the one where you jump on the bed and simulate sex?
Wait, are you talking about like soaking when they like
Soaking, yes, right? So you've got like all of these weird Mormon behaviors out of this very repressive culture. And so, same thing here. Turns out the swinging is some weird, elaborate thing, and you're not supposed to fall in love. But spoiler, a guy catches feelings for her, and so ruins the whole swinging thing, and ultimately kind of devastates the OG mom talk. Taylor Frankie Paul comes back with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Mom Talk is back, thank God. And from there, turns out she has a second baby daddy, Coda, who in 2023 she gets arrested. It's like felony. She gets arrested for beating him up and hitting her daughter with a metal chair in the course of that assault. Fast forward to today. After she allegedly assaults Dakota again, Dakota reveals this video, or someone leaks this video that Dakota took in that original altercation where she hits her daughter. And it's bad, Tiffany. Guys, this is a real trigger warning. If you are queasy about kid assault, child abuse, this is not the moment for you. Maybe skip 5 minutes here. In the video, it's almost worse than what people say happened to the daughter because I think this daughter is very young. I want to say she's like 4 or 6 or something. Gets hit with the metal chair.
does she
And
actually?
yeah, you could hear the bang. But the worst part is, like, she starts crying for her mom, and the mom doesn't go comfort her child. And so Dakota goes to comfort the child. And Taylor, instead of, I don't know, there's something and he goes to comfort the child, and then she starts yelling at him for comforting the child. And it's like all those things together. Taylor, I really hope you went to therapy because I don't think those are I don't even know how to summarize how I feel about it. We went to a really dark place because not only did you just hit your kid, yeah, you just hit your kid and your first reaction isn't to go comfort. I'm not even saying as a mother, just maybe as a parent. I don't know. I would hope. Yeah, as a person. Yeah. It was crazy work to see it. It was hard to watch because the kid is having a real visceral reaction to just being hit. And for her to not go to comfort this kid was a real tough watch. And I hope the kid's okay. Ki kids are young, and I think there's a lot you can do. There's a lot of interventions and tools you have today to help them, get over some of these or to understand these experiences better. But it was a really tough watch, and The Bachelorette actually canceled her entire season. I don't know a lot about what it takes to produce TV or who gets involved in those decisions, but clearly this felony charge is from 2023, and they said, "Oh, why not another TV show?" And I wonder if that was the wrong. In some way, as you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I do feel for Taylor. I have a lot of empathy because I don't know if her parents are setting her up for success, right? Even though she's a grown adult now, I think there's something really tainted, really bad about that bond, her parental bond, the one with her parents. So I'm not trying to demonize her, but I don't know, maybe not being on camera, maybe going and, actually finding Jesus or something could be helpful here, right? Man, my tea time is dark. Let's never do that again. Sorry, you should always do tea time. Now you know. Now you know. All right, guys. With that, thanks. I hate to end on a bummer. Freaking A. Got it. Okay. Okay. Hate to end on a down note, so let's think about what is ahead. Next week, Tiffany, we've got another mousy girl, tall guy vertical. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I've got a thing. I don't know why, but I've got this thing. It's about book lovers. And so I think next week let's do a little book share. I would love to tell you what I'm reading, and you could tell us what you're reading and kind of compare notes there too. Do you want suggestions? Well, I mean, just read something. I don't know. Do you want a suggestion? Give me a genre. I'll suggest you something. Oh, is it the thriller, The Housemaid? Ooh, that one's. Ooh, girl. You listen to that to fall asleep? No, but people aren't committing self harm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, next week we're doing one about book lovers. So everyone bring out your books. Let's compare. This is the Talk Drama to Me book club. Follow us on TikTok, Insta, YouTube, and Substack. We're posting the clips, the thirst traps, and theories. Talk Drama to Me drops every Wednesday. Bye for now.